Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Okay, I'm going to do a reading a bit on Kamala Harris. And it was something I observed when I was watching the fourth night at the DNC last night with Michelle. During one part of her speech when she was giving her background of her family, it just struck me of, talk about the American dream. You've got these, her mom was, 17 years old when she came to the United States, or 19, I forget, maybe 19 years old. Came to the United States to get a education, and she was going to cure cancer. That was her goal. It was to cure breast cancer. And while her mom was over here, I believe at UC Berkeley, she met Donald J. Harris. Got to be careful how you get to the last name there. Again, what an irony, isn't it? Donald J. Harris is her father versus Donald J., the other guy, is her political opponent. But I digress. She was born, and then her sister was born a few years later. The parents divorcing after 9 years of marriage. I did look up her father a little bit. Turns out he was a professor, and he, he took temporary teaching positions at a couple of Illinois colleges and became a tenured professor at Wisconsin-Madison before returning to California in 1972 to become a professor of economics at Stanford. I believe it was 72 was when Harris's parents divorced. The father fought for custody of the kids, but the courts systems would not give him custody, and he was upset by that, simply because from his point of view the court system was biased against fathers. Felt like they felt like the assumption was fathers couldn't do basic child rearing. One of the interesting stories in there, though, was she was sharing is about going to the park, and her mom was saying, stay close, and the dad saying, run as far as you can, be bold. And so she's managed to sort of incorporate maybe the best of both of her parents' personalities and the best of her upbringing. Her mom was the type of person, it's like complaining and whining is getting you nowhere. What are you going to do to fix something? What are you going to do to resolve the issue? No. Her mom didn't have time for pity parties, simply put. But as I was watching, I was just thinking, wow, two immigrants coming into the United States in the 60s, meeting each other, having a couple of kids, and the daughter's a lawyer, the other daughter is a lawyer, and the eldest one not only is a lawyer, but then has a political career through California that leads her to be the first female vice president and the first woman of color who's vice president and is the favorite to win the presidency and become the first woman president in the United States history. It's like her mom has passed, but I would just imagine her mom would be oozing with pride for about 3 seconds before she says, okay, well, how are you going to fix everything now? But you get to that point, it's just like, it's the ultimate American dream. If you think about it, the child of immigrants becoming the president of the United States. Stuff movies are made out of. The dad hasn't been involved with the two women and has not been involved in Kamala's campaign. And that might be just as well. The end of this story here had an interesting anecdote. Only time he made any comments about Kamala was in February of 2019 after Kamala made a joke about marijuana sharing in a radio interview that she did smoke weed when she was younger. And her response was, half my family's from Jamaica. Are you kidding me? And laughing. The dad comes on and made a public comment that he shared to Jamaica Global, which I'm assuming is a Jamaican newspaper. He's been very involved in Jamaica economics. My dearest departed grandmothers, as well as my deceased parents, must be turning in their grave right now to see their family's name, reputation, and proud Jamaican identity being connected in any way, jokingly or not, with the fraudulent stereotype of a pot-smoking joy seeker and in the pursuit of identity politics. Speaking for myself and my immediate Jamaican family, which we categorically disassociate ourselves from this travesty. Dude, it was a joke. Might do you some good to lean into it a little bit. It might help you have a little bit of a personality. Kamala's got personality. I don't think she got it from her dad. Dad seems a little bit stiff. If anybody needs some gummies, it might be him. Just saying. I'm Italian heritage, and none of my family were in the mafia. But you can laugh about it. I mean, it's just, sorry. Watch out there, mafia. Yeah. darn Italians. Did you ever see The Godfather? You can have fun with it and without getting offended. But let's park him over there. Kamala Harris, she has a lot of humor and a lot of mirth about her. That doesn't mean she's not an intense person, because she absolutely is. She is going to be amazing as president. But I want to look at the joy and the hope that she's bringing. She's got this great backstory. Again, talk about written for Hollywood type thing. Let's see how her energy, her enthusiasm, her message of hope, still being steeled with the fact of the dire consequences if she's not successful in being elected and given a Congress that she can work with here, and how that impacts the U.S. But let's look at the joy and hope of Kamala Harris. Okay, entertainment purposes only. Foundation of the reading is the King of Swords. Underneath all that joy and hope is a very steely, intelligent person who's not afraid to wield power. But while her father, I think, has that same mindset, the ability to wield power and be heartless, she's got a wonderful veneer on it. I'm sure there's going to be some balance with this ability to make tough choices. Interesting. Crossed with the Hanged Man. She has the ability, though, unlike people of the past, to look at things in a different light. It's not going to be the same old presidency. It's not going to be the, same president, different president. It's the same thing, different year. Underneath it all, it's about her values. The values that her mom and dad instilled upon her and her sister in their growing up. The things that she saw. She talks about, her values in standing up to bullies and standing up to the powerful that are pushing their way around. She is going to, her value system has made her who she is, and she looks at things differently than previous presidents. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of fight in this woman. She's had to fight for things in her whole life. She shared that story again with her mom. Mom was a single mom working. You had to use a whole community to get her two daughters raised. And they have a lot of non-blood aunties and uncles that help them through that. But she's also willing to fight against big business. She's willing to fight for the little guy because that's what her values are. Current situation is the emperor. Elect her. She will rule as an emperor. But this is going to be more like the benevolent variety, not the one who's a dictator. She's the one that is the mentor. She is the one that's going to make sure everybody's taken care of, just like the empress. There is, she is a woman of truly a woman, but she's got the divine masculine in her personality. This is not she's nurturing in her own way, but she has the divine masculine too. She is strong. She is a strong person. you know, her husband's kids referred to her as Mamala. And can you imagine, and I've said this before, but could you imagine picture yourself in your teenage years and the stupid things that you did in your teenage years. Now, can you imagine trying to pull the wool over Kamala Harris's eyes if she was your mother? About how far do you think you would get? Right? Yeah, me neither. I don't want to do that. You're just better off just pulling the straight party line and owning your stuff. I would never try to lie to this woman. We watched Brett Kavanaugh do it. We saw Bill Barr try to do it. She is ruthless. Overarching energy. Look at all these major arcana here. Temperance. She's fair. She is a fair person. She will listen to both sides and she will make up her mind. She talked about doing what's best for the country. I absolutely believe it. And we are in a really toxic environment. And, you know, given the environment that we're currently in, we are about to elect a black woman as president of the United States in a time where Donald Trump and the Republicans have put out all sorts of dog whistles to the American Nazi Party, to white supremacists everywhere. And this just seems like what a natural pushback. You're getting this, whether you like it or not. Lesson to be learned. 10 of Wands. Nothing's been handed to this woman. She has earned everything that she has at this point. You know, the right always, oh, she's a DEI hire, or, you know, she slept her way to the top. They try and undermine who this woman is. She doesn't care. They can talk all they want. She's got a job to do, and she's going to do it. And the reason why she is the way she is because she's been able to carry the burden. She can't do it by herself when the President of the United States. You need help. But she can carry the burden, which is why she can get through this and why she doesn't care what these other people say. She's beyond that. I love this card. Outcome is the High Priestess. Great. Divine feminine knowledge. Divine feminine wisdom. This is the Jewish card. So, you know, you're incorporating the Jewish faith in with her husband being Jewish. And, you know, I'm sure the holiday season had all sorts of different religious, you know, working in Hanukkah in with Christmas type of thing. But she's absolutely the right pick at the right time. Just like Obama was when he came in. Just like Joe Biden was when he came in. It's really ironic, not coincidental certainly, that the right people, especially for President of the United States, are showing up exactly when we need them. When this country is in a crisis. And she's going to be amazing. Let's talk about hope. Not only Tim Walz's daughter, named Hope, but the hope that Kamala Harris brings to this country. Let's talk about hope. A little four-parter, and then we'll end it. Kamala Harris and the hope that she brings, how is that going to impact the collective in the United States and across the world? And it's funny looking at my comments today about people who don't live in the United States saying, God, they wish they could vote in the United States because they would vote for Harris Walz. Probably wishing, can we get the Canadian version? Can we get the Australian version of this, please? Yeah, I think if Kamala Harris and Donald Trump were running and all the world got a vote, I think Kamala Harris would still win quite handily the popular vote. Okay, come on down. Let's see what her hope, message of hope for Carter has on the collective. The Hermit. Her hope is showing the way. It's showing the way out of the darkness. She will lead. We will follow. Page of Pentacles. And it's young people. The young people. She's showing the young people there's a difference and that they matter. They're important. Their values are important. She's going to give them opportunities. Can you imagine being a young person in this world, and what the prices of everything are, how much a house costs, how much a car costs. I look at my kids and I don't know how they'll ever afford a house, at least not in the Bay Area. I can't even afford a house in the Bay Area. I'm in my prime earning years. I've talked about this with Michelle. I can't even, don't get me wrong. Michelle and I have a nice house in a nice area, but, if I wanted to move, if we were to sell this place and try to move to the coast, we couldn't afford it. We just couldn't afford it because the interest rates have gone up. And, even though I make a really good salary, and so does Shell, wouldn't be able to afford the house payment. I'm tired of working. Gives young people hope. There's a future for them. There's a lot of people who are feeling left out of the process, feeling abandoned. They feel like they don't have the opportunities that are there. She's giving those people hope. The people that had manufacturing jobs that left. She and Joe Biden brought those manufacturing jobs back. It's giving them hope. You reap what you sow. She's worked hard. She's tried to be positive and do the right thing for people to defend them from people who would take advantage of them. She's going to reap the rewards of that. She's going to, come forward with opportunities. She can control her emotions, but she has, for as steely as she is with that King of Swords, she is an emotional person. She just, unlike Gus Walls, she can keep perfect control over her emotions. But that doesn't mean she's emotionless. She's got the divine feminine wisdom. She's got the empathy. She understands that people want opportunities. They want the ability to earn a comfortable living. They want the opportunities to go forward. They've been abandoned. And she's going to bring back that hope. She's going to show them the way that just because the world looks a certain way now doesn't mean it has to stay that way. That 10 of coins as the underlying energy in the previous spread. It's just such a hopeful message. I hope we get 8 years of her. Certainly I hope in the first 4 years she absolutely crushes it. And if she wants to do another 4 years and has more things to do, I look forward to that. Okay. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I do appreciate it. And I'll catch you on the next video. Take care.